Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are here to take a look at the new Overwatch League schedule for the 2020 season. Now I do have to fix one thing. I loaded up my computer here and they want to update YouTube Manager, so I'm going to tell them everything sucked. That's what I clicked, the everything sucked category, because the new thing is garbage. What we're actually here to talk about, though, is the Overwatch League schedule for 2020. So, essentially, they announced a couple days ago, well, not a couple days ago, a couple hours ago. Oh, well, the article says 15 hours ago. So 15 hours ago, they announced the schedule for 2020, and nobody told me about it. I was not informed. So I got an email that said, here, 2020 schedule. So we're going to pull that up. I've looked at it on my phone. I didn't really get to have a great look at it. I was sort of watching TV, looking on my phone. So now I got a really, really good up-close look at it. Okay, so I've been speculating about it myself. Of course, I put up multiple videos talking about it. And, just when they announced 2020, what was happening with it. I mean, we've been talking about this since the beginning of Overwatch League and the beginning of these videos on the channel. We talked about this stuff back, in February 2018. So we just really been talking about it. We sort of built up more to it off-season. Heading in 2019, knowing that was happening in 2020, or rumored to be happening, and now it's officially here. They announced it a couple weeks ago. We did a video on that, and overall, we get to talk about it. So, so the 2020 season schedule, essentially, it's pretty straightforward. We're not going to go over every single game, every single day, but essentially, it starts week 1. February 8th, 2020 in New York City. So the New York Excelsior will have the home games first. So that's basically the way it's going to work. The home games are done very similar to as we've seen the home stand weekends in Dallas and in Atlanta. And of course, coming up in Los Angeles this weekend. How it's hosted by a team in their city, and then a bunch of teams show up and play each other. I believe the plan is still to have 28 games. I'm not sure if they cut it down, added to it, whatever. And I don't know any of the details, how the hosting was going to work. Are they having certain announcers go to certain cities or certain people? But yeah, it looks like there's a couple different events done a couple different ways. So we're going to go in depth with that. But first, let's read over the article here. So they sort of announced it. So they recently shared some high-level details of what was happening about what next season will look like. The Overwatch League today, we're excited to share the 2020 schedule. So you start planning your weekends, your time off, vacations, road trips, and viewing parties. Because the tickets go on sale August 28th. So just about a week from the time of this upload. So then it says with matches in 19 cities, of course 20 teams, but 2 in LA. With matches in 19 cities around the world, there will be many chances to join us for a match in 2020. Here's a taste of some great opportunities to see the best Overwatch players in the world compete. So basically it says, get your friends, kick off the season in New York. Take your loved one to a Valentine's Day date in Shanghai. Everyone to see Seoul in the winter. Head to the heart of esports in early March for the Dynasty's first home game. Don't put off that dream Paris vacation any longer. Book it to coincide with the Eternals' first home match. Cheer on San Francisco versus Washington on the 4th of July in Vancouver. I like that. And it says, check your birthday weeks and your friends' birthday weeks all the way to the end of the regular season, August 9th. And then it says, tickets go on sale whenever. Follow your team's social media accounts. Yeah. Also, tickets, if you're interested in traveling to Korea or China, are not on sale on the date that I said, the 28th. Those are going to go on sale later date, it just says. So if you plan on going to a game in North America or in Europe, they're on sale in just a couple days. Yeah. So, very interesting way this will be played out. But yeah. What games are happening on your birthday? I don't know your birthday, so I can't tell you. I can't tell you what games happen on my birthday. Shanghai and Seoul in Shanghai. So it's probably actually going to happen like that morning. Dang. So that's the thing. If you like to watch Overwatch, so you want to watch all the games, depending on where you are in the world, it's going to become very, very interesting to watch the games now. Especially, I understand this as a fan of Seoul Dynasty. A lot of their games are going to be played on the other side of the world, basically. They'll be either playing in Korea or China for a lot of games, since they changed up the way that it works with divisions. We have a conference and a division, or whatever they call it, I don't know. But the conferences and then the division. Seoul's in the conference with all the other teams from China. So it's Seoul and the 4 Chinese teams. Also, by this, it looks like we're not getting any new teams in 2020. I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing more in 2021, but it looks like for now, the 20 teams that exist will stay at 20 teams. We may see it expanded. I don't know. I know they want to get up there towards NFL levels, NBA levels, MLB, which is between 30 and 32. I know NBA's got 30. I think NFL and MLB have 32. Actually, just to throw in all 4 major U.S. sports. NHL, which I have no idea about, I believe has 31. So anywhere between 30 and 32 is, I guess, their goal that they're looking at. So we'll see. But yeah, so to break down sort of the schedule, the games start in New York on February 8th. And the times that I say, I believe, if I check the bottom, it says times are local. Yes. Wait, all times are local? So they're the local times. I'm assuming they're local times to the games, like the city that they're in. So like this says 1 o'clock in New York. It's going to be 1 o'clock in New York in that time zone. In Dallas, the game is 4 o'clock, so it's going to be 4 o'clock in that time zone. Because I couldn't see them doing a game at 3 and then 4 back to back. Actually, I could. So maybe that is... Can I change my time zone on my computer and see what happens? I want to know. Alright, so my time zone currently is Eastern time zone, so that'd be in line with New York City. Click the lock to make changes. Oh, right, I can do that. I have access. Let's just set time zone to Seoul, Korean Standard Time. And let's see what happens. So we're locked now. It's Wednesday at 12:13. So if I reload this document, this will tell me all I need to know. Okay. So times are set to local. So it is locally based off of the area that the games are played in, not the location that you're at. That will come out later, I'm sure, on the app and the website once everything sort of gets changed over to 2020. You can see when it's happening, but the games that I'll know exactly what time they are is I mean, I can understand most of them. I can figure out time zones pretty easy. I don't exactly know the difference in, like, if it's how far apart Shanghai is from, like, Seoul, but I got a rough idea. Sorry, like an hour difference. So hour, maybe two different. Hour or two difference, we'll say. Maybe three, depending on how far some of the cities are. But within 3 hours of each other. I'd say within China, I don't know. Either way, the first game is at 1 o'clock Eastern time, because it's in New York. Paris and Toronto, and New York plays London. So later on, they're going to go to Dallas with Vancouver and Los Angeles Gladiators playing each other. And then the next day, again in New York, and again in Dallas. So what I'm assuming by having two games, they have 4 broadcasting groups, 4 broadcasting duos. You send 2 of them to New York, 2 of them to Dallas. You have your desk analysts, they got like, I don't know, a bunch of them. Send half to New York, half them to Dallas. Or they do something like, you know, they do for a broadcast for something like football. You know, we'll just take a random one. Fox does their broadcast, right? They have a bunch of games happening. Whenever they have a halftime or whatever, one group in the studio does it. I don't know how it's going to work for this, if they want to do that live. I don't know. We're just going off of that. They do their broadcast for football. Go to a studio. Same studio, same people, whatever happens. Week 2 is in Shanghai, February 15th and 16th. You have 2 games in Shanghai and 2 games in Philadelphia. And then the second day, February 16th, same thing, Shanghai, Philadelphia. Week 3 in Guangzhou and Washington. Those are going to be happening the same day. Yeah. They're about, again, 12, 13 hours apart from each other. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't exactly know. Well, I know that Seoul's 13 hours. So, sometimes 14 hours, depending on daylight savings, because still do that around here. Bunch of fucking tools. What the hell is this? Oh. Let's see. Let's see the time zones here. So, in China, there's 5 time zones. It's 11 a.m. So it's in 12 hours for China Standard Time. Oh. So China only does have one time zone. They have one. So it is 12 hours exactly. Interesting. It says China is nowadays the only large country other than India to have only one time zone. And it's the largest single time zone area in the world. In comparison to the United States, a country of similar geographical area to China has 4 major time zones, separated by an hour. That's why I wasn't sure. That's why I'm like, maybe it's 2 hours, 3 hours. It's 1 hour difference from Korea. That's a lot easier for me to understand. I've gotten to learn that it's that. So, it's 12 hours exactly. Right now it is 11:18 p.m. in America in the Eastern time zone. And it is 11:18 a.m. in China time zone. Alright, that helps because it's a bunch of games in China. Now I understand. That's key knowledge for me to have. So they play in Guangzhou, 2 p.m., so it's 2 a.m. Of course, I'm basing all my stuff off of Eastern time zone. That's where I live. It's really weird talking about time zones all the time in these videos. Yeah, but guess we get to learn things. So yeah, they play in Guangzhou and Washington, and the reason that works is, again, Washington's in the same time zone as me as well. So Washington it's 3 p.m. In Guangzhou it's 2 a.m. So there's technically that difference. You can watch those games and then the other games. So you're not really going to have any overlapping games, which is a really good idea. Because we can look at that now knowing everything's the time zone of the games. New York Excelsior, so we'll take the first week. New York Excelsior, London Spitfire, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Vancouver and Los Angeles Gladiators in Dallas at 4 p.m., which means there is a gap in between. There's like an hour gap because New York is going to play at 3. So by the time that it's 4 here, it's 3 there. So, in Dallas. So then you're going to have like an hour or 2 break, whatever the math is. Somebody has to sit and think all this out. Which I'm glad it's not me. But if somebody wants me to do it, pay me a lot of money and I'll figure it all out. I'm not going to go through what's a key game or anything, but because again, we don't know who's good, who's not good. It depends on the playoffs this year. I mean, you can only assume Washington, Toronto, Florida, Boston, and Houston. Early prediction would be bad as like last year or like this year, but you never know. I mean, nobody. If you went into the 2019 season, nobody would have said Boston's going to be bad this year. There's always that one team that surprises you that's good and surprises you that's bad. Like, Shanghai turned out to be a really good team. Now, again, it's a whole different roster, but still. If somebody said last year, Shanghai's going to win a stage playoff, you'd just be like, what? And it's the same idea if somebody said Boston's going to be one of the first teams eliminated from the playoffs, you'd just be like, what are you talking about? So there's always that one or two teams that surprise you. That's good or bad. Washington has a really good stage 4. And I guess Florida's had a decent stage 4 as well. So you'd be on the up, but who knows? We go to Hangzhou week 4 at Houston. So it looks like they're doing the games in Asia and in North America sort of same day, sort of going off of each other there. It'd be kind of like it if you watch the Overwatch World Cup and you watch the Incheon stage or the Bangkok stage last year. It's the same idea. So, yeah. There's games in Hangzhou and Houston. 1, or actually 2 days. So again, this is a 2-day thing. They're only playing, it looks like, Saturdays and Sundays, which is good. It really allows people to be able to actually watch their teams if your team is playing in a different country. Or not a different country, but like a far apart time. Again, for me, I'm going to want to watch Seoul play some games. But, I mean, do you just have to be up at like 4 in the morning? You know? 5 in the morning? I mean, I'm probably up playing Overwatch, but no, I go to sleep between like 2 and 4. So I'm not really trying to get invested in watching a game at that time. Especially if it's like the middle of the week. You know, I may have to work the next day. And I know a lot of people, for me, I work maybe once, twice a week. But for a lot of people, you work every day. And, you know, if you work every day, you can't just stay up late watching people play video games. I don't want to put it in that context. It's a professional league, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to watch people... you don't want to watch sports at 2 in the morning. It's just... It's hard. I know I do that with even, like... I don't know, F1 races. I start early sometimes. Some start at like 9 o'clock. I'm not up that time. The difference is, I wish there was a way that you could watch the Overwatch League and like record it, because that's the nice thing about, like, you know, YouTube TV. You can watch and record it, or any TV you can record. But the issue, most of the games are just on Twitch. There's really no like go back and watch it option. I mean, there is, but it's sort of complicated. You gotta watch like a whole like 6-hour broadcast. I don't know. I never like to play back things on Twitch, or they like rebroadcast them. I don't know how it works. I just wish there was like a simple way. I mean, who knows? I think the contract with Twitch was only 2 years. I think it was only season 1 and 2. Maybe wrong, but I think it was only that time. Soul, look. Look, Soul. Yeah. Come here. Everybody wants to see you, Soul. Come on. Everybody wants to see you, Soul. Look it. Wow, you're on camera. You not like this? She's not very much into being held. Do you want to find out when Soul plays? Look. Week 4, February 19th. Soul plays Hangzhou. Or they play in Hangzhou. Okay. Okay. She's like, yeah, we're done with this. So again, Hangzhou and Houston. Week 4. Week 5, we go to Seoul. There you go, Seoul. Come on. You missed it. Week 5 is Seoul and Washington. Again, these are the locations that's being hosted. Week 6, we go to Guangzhou in Florida. That's week 6, yep. Week 7, Guangzhou and London. Oh, no, wait. Week 7. Week 7 is Guangzhou and Atlanta, sorry. Week 8 is London and San Francisco. Week 9 is Washington and Dallas. Week 10 is Paris and not decided yet. Let me let this cat out of this room here. This is a thing in all my videos now. There's one other one I recorded today. She wanted to leave, and I'm sure she'll want to come back in as well. So they haven't announced that one yet. Another one for week 10. But seeing that it's San Francisco, Guangzhou, Vancouver, Chengdu, Los Angeles, and Hangzhou, it's probably going to either be in one of those places. Week 10. Oh, that is week 10. So it's in Paris in an unknown location so far. The other team playing in an unknown location, it looks like Los Angeles Valiant, Shanghai Dragons, and Seoul Dynasty. So there's a bunch of teams playing. Unless it's like unknown where those matches will take place. Because it looks like San Francisco, Guangzhou, and Seoul are connected. Those teams go together that week. And the Gladiators and the Spark would also be with San Francisco and Seoul. So I'm assuming that's just going to be something that would go... They don't know the location of it yet. Week 11 is Toronto in Los Angeles, hosted by Los Angeles Valiant. Did we get a Los Angeles game yet? It was the first one in LA. That was the first one in LA. Okay, I just want to make sure that I specify which team's hosting it. So that's the Valiant and Toronto. Week 12 is in Boston and Dallas. Looking at the schedule, I was really hoping that there'd be a Seoul game played in New York or Boston, but there's not. Because those are the two closest cities to me. Week 13 is the All-Star break. The locations haven't been decided yet. And again, there's no stage playoffs, which I'm really glad about, because stage playoffs seem like a waste of time to me. But again, there's games every single week. But again, the teams can get their proper rest, so that way they don't get burnt out playing a video game. Week 14 is in Seoul and Paris. Week 15 is in Florida and Vancouver. Week 16 is in Philadelphia and Dallas. Week 17 is in Washington and New York. Week 17, I already said week 17. Week 18 is in London and Philadelphia. Week 19 is in Paris and Atlanta. Week 20 is Hangzhou and Washington. Week 21 is Boston and Los Angeles Gladiators. Week 22 is Vancouver and Guangzhou. Week 23 is Guangzhou and Dallas. So Guangzhou's got 2 games back-to-back, or 2 weeks back-to-back. That's good. So it's nice if you don't have to travel for 2 weeks. One thing about this Overwatch League. Let's say I did say Guangzhou and Dallas. If you're a player and you end up on a team in like a completely different country, that's gotta be wild. Because you gotta live in that country. I don't know if you have to necessarily live there, but I know that the teams have to provide houses for the players, so that's a thing. But I don't think it's as bad necessarily. I don't know. I think the thing about it is most of the players are at least close to where they are from. Because again, the Paris team, all the players are from Europe. Most of the teams in America are from America, or some of the players that are not have been living in America for 1 or 2 years playing in the Overwatch League. And again, if you have to play in Vancouver or Toronto, it's pretty close to America. And then if you play in Korea, Seoul Dynasty's all Korean players. And then the teams in China, I know Shanghai's got all Korean players. I think Hangzhou's got all Chinese players. I don't know the whole rosters, but I'm pretty sure most of those players are from those countries. So at least they're close to each other. But imagine if you end up on, like, Shanghai Dragons, for example, and you're not from either one of those countries. You're not from China or Korea, which they're very different countries, but it's not that far to go home. If you want to take a trip home, you can go fly home pretty quickly. You can get home. It's the same as now for the players playing in America, but just imagine if you're end up across the world and you're living in a city you've never been in. It's gonna be kind of weird. Again, I think it's cool to go different places, but there's probably a certain sense to these players if they end up on a team in a place they've never been. That's kind of weird. To an extent. It's cool, again, to play in a different country, and dude, I don't have a problem. I'm not saying you have to play in your own country. I think that's it was a kind of obnoxious thing that happened when London won the championship. And people were saying, oh, London won, but none of the players are from London. Or none of the players are from UK or whatever. They're all Korean players. I thought it was kind of obnoxious because it's the same as if a basketball team wins. The players aren't from there. The Warriors, when they won their championships, not all... I don't even know how many of the players are from San Francisco. I don't even think any of them are. I don't think any of those players have lived or were raised in San Francisco. Steph Curry's from, Charlotte. What? Most of the time, the players that win aren't from the city that they're on. Or the city they're playing on, LeBron played in Cleveland. He's from Ohio. But most of the time, the players don't play in the city that they're from. So it's kind of obnoxious that I was seeing comments about that. I'm like, what? It's just like any other sport. Toronto Raptors won the NBA Finals this year based on injuries, but they won. And how many of those players are from even Canada that won on the Raptors? Kawhi Leonard, the main star, is from Los Angeles. Come on. So to kind of be like, oh, you have to win you're not from here, why would you win here? It's kind of lame. There's some cons about that after the thing. So I don't have a problem when people win in different countries. I think it's cool to be in a different country, different team, different city. That's how sports is. You play wherever. But it's just, to live halfway across the world would be kind of crazy. If you've never been there. Yeah, I'd love to go to other countries and other places. I consider living in a different country at a certain point, but just have to live there for like, this is your team, or like, imagine if you get traded mid-season and you have to go across the country or across the world. That'd be crazy. Make it happen, somebody please trade a player from like Atlanta Reign to like Guangzhou Charge. Please make it happen. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, week 24, Shanghai and San Francisco. Week 25, Chengdu and Los Angeles Gladiators. 26, Chengdu and Houston. Are they doing like back-to-backs on a lot of these in China? I don't know. A lot of the teams staying. Because let's see, London's going from Guangzhou to Shanghai. I'm sure it makes sense when a team's in a certain part of the world to stay there for a couple weeks and play. It doesn't make sense to have a team, you know, say London here, fly from Shanghai, or where are they playing? Guangzhou. It doesn't make any sense to have them fly from Guangzhou 1 week to play in San Francisco the other week when they can play in China. Or the opposite way. Which I know Seoul plays in a couple places in America back-to-back. Like, it doesn't make sense to fly here, back to here when you can stay, you know, you do your games in China, and then you do your games in America, and then you do your games in Europe or something like that. It makes sense if you're playing there to stay there for a couple weeks instead of you're in Dallas 1 week, you're in Shanghai 1 week, you're in Florida 1 week, you're in Seoul 1 week, you're in Vancouver 1 week. Like, it makes sense to stay close, cut down on the miles. It's a lot of flying, a lot of expense, and a lot of environmental impact. Should I throw that in there? I should. Week 26, Guangzhou and Houston. Week 27, Toronto and Los Angeles. Valiant. That's it. That's the end of it. That's where it ends. Huh. So 27 weeks, 52 cities. Or 52 event weekends, I guess is what they said. Right. When's Seoul playing somewhere close? That's what I want to know. They're playing in Shanghai. Seoul Dynasty, where are you at? I know it's like earlier in the season. April? I think it's April. They do their East Coast adventure. Yeah, because week 14, they're in Seoul. So the week after that, maybe? No, not week 15. Week 16. Week 16, they're in Philadelphia. Playing Houston. I'd consider going to one of the games in Philadelphia or Washington. But I don't want to watch them play Houston. Yeah, because I think they played, like, a bunch of bad teams. I think they played Florida, and they played, like, somebody else. In Philadelphia, they play Philadelphia. Okay, that's not bad. In Washington, they play Washington. They could have played in New York. Oh, my God. I'm mad. I wanted to watch them play New York Excelsior. I know they play New York Excelsior in Shanghai. I know I've seen that. And I know Seoul plays some other bad team somewhere around here. Do they play Florida and, like... Yeah, they play Atlanta in Atlanta. Where the hell do they play New York? New York Excelsior. Because I think they play each team twice. That's out of their division. And 4 times in there. Or in their conference. Their conference teams, they play 4 times. In their division, they play twice. Would that make sense mathematically? How many is their teams? 20? So they play 10. They play 10 teams twice. I don't know how it works out, honestly. News. Can I find it on news? beginning of the end. It was a while ago. They announced it. Sigma skin for all 20 teams. I don't really care about that. Just the 2-2-2 of us. Oh my god. Roster construction. We can do a video on that? Hello? How did I not do that? Playoff prep? Oh, I gotta do some videos, babe. But we're sitting here. Time to do it. Time to do it, bruh. Oh, okay. What's new in 2020? This is what I want to see. Divisions. Yeah, we got the conferences and divisions. So, 28 matches. Playoffs tournament. Let's see. How does that work? Each team has 2 homestands. Top of those teams in each division will also collectively host 3 additional regular season events. So that's how some of them have 2 and some of them have 3. So each division has 3 additional. So each team has 2, which is 48. So they get to 10 more. I guess. I don't know. Either way. So yeah. The East Division is Chengdu, Guangzhou, Hangzhou, Shanghai, and Seoul. I really went through that fast. Wow, I'm getting good at saying these city names. So between that, those 5 cities, 3 of them will host an additional event, basically. That is dank. My hat almost fell off. Maybe they only play each team once outside of their division. Because Seoul and New York is also only playing 1 time. From what I could find, I'm looking for both logos and until I can find. Either way, it's going to be very, very interesting going forward with the Overwatch League here. I'm quite interested to sort of see where things go, what happens. And overall, just, yeah. Overwatch League will be interesting in 2020. Of course, there's a couple more games left in 2019. We got the last week of Stage 4, and then we got the play-ins, and then the playoffs begin. So really, playoffs begin in just a week from now. Essentially, you could say that. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And, yeah. We will take a look at some stuff. There's a couple videos I want to do. Overwatch League Awards seem pretty fun to talk about. Roster constructions for 2020. And what other one did I see down here? Oh, the 2019 season playoffs. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one.